sugar nut. Sugar. This is my first my first live stream from Sky King One, Recon the Philippines Treetop, which is short for Treetop Flyer. Uh, I wish to tell you that for those of you who are going to donate for Daisy and I to visit the famous places in the Philippines, starting with, well, if you like Bohol, you're welcome to give us a suggestion for Bohol. But to be honest with you, there's not much in Bohol that I would consider worth blogging. I have been to every so called famous destination in Bohol. For instance, Alona Beach was 10 years ago a tourist mecca to the point where there was untold amounts of people on the beach, blanket to blanket, kind of like a Jones's Beach on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon in July. But Alona Beach is not what Alona Beach was once. More ID? Okay. Alona Beach is not, it would not be a place I would suggest to go to. It's just a tourist, it's still a tourist attraction if you're coming from someplace, I don't know, like the Swiss Alps. Let's just use the Swiss Alps in honor of my friend Alo de Winter. Um, it's if you've come from the Swiss Alps, Alona Beach has a white sand beach, but the once live coral reef outside 250 feet away from the shoreline in Alona Beach is gone. That's gone. The reef is no longer a live reef. There are some spots where you'll see remnants of some live coral, but I dove Alona Beach 2 years ago on my 65th birthday, and I dove Alona Beach in 2014 multiple times, the wall out off Alona Beach. And at that time, a little bit down.
No, focus.
What, honey? Yeah, you're supposed to move it around like that. At that time, did it work? You're supposed to. Okay. Wait 1 minute. We're setting something up here.
Focus.
Okay. How about that? It said blink my eyes. I think it worked that time. Alona Beach in 2014 was empty. Empty. I mean empty. I could go to Alona Beach and be the only person on Alona Beach all day on almost any given day. Now, what was a little crowded during the day, say the month of August when I lived there, August, July, I lived there from March 16th to October. I could go to Alona Beach and be the only person on the beach Monday through Friday. On Saturday and Sunday, there'd be a few more people. There'd be other people, but a person every 150 feet, a blanket set up. So, but the reef was live. The beach was white. There was a white sand beach for the entire length of the Alona Beach. What you see on a map, that's gone. Those maps are outdated. What you'll see is a walk path once you come down the hill from Alona Beach proper. You'll walk down 200-foot mountain or hill or incline up or down, and then you're going to walk to um, a walk path where you're going to make a left and go towards the Henin restaurant, or you make a right and go towards the Birdwatcher Bar and Grill. At that time in 2014, in front of the Birdwatcher Bar and Grill, there was probably 75 to 85 feet of white sand beach from the walk path to the waterline. That's gone. It's gone. The beach now, waterline now comes up to the walk path. And that's because the businesses that ran along the walk path either were not allowed to put a rock jetty break wall in front of their establishments, or they didn't want to pay to have it done, or they couldn't get a permit to do it. I'm not real sure what it was, because I explained to the people that had the storefront right on the walk path that on the land side of the walk path there were businesses probably 20 feet back from the walk path. You can see that on a map. However, on the ocean side of the walk path, there was about 35 feet of hard packed land and coconut trees. That's all gone. It's all gone. On the ocean side of that landmass, on the landmass, they had tables and chairs and benches and setups to buy crabs or fish or souvenirs. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. The land is gone. And then forward of that, towards the ocean, there was 80 feet, 75, 85 feet of beach from the down walk path from Alona Beach proper all the way to the end of Alona Beach, what would be the west side of Alona Beach. So when you get down the walk path to the west, there was 35 plus feet of land where tables and chairs once existed. That's gone. There was 75 to 85 feet of white sand beach. That's gone. Now the water laps up against the walk path and has washed out the walk path. In many areas, there's just half a path. Plus, all these spots that were once filled with trees and forests, because in 2014, 60 to 75% of all property along Alona Beach was empty. There were no businesses. It was just trees and forests. And actually, that's where many of the hotel workers used to sleep in hammocks in the mangroves. That's gone. Now, there's no frontage, no beach frontage in Alona Beach at all. Nothing, zero, to be rented or to be built on. And there's nothing there for anybody to see anymore because the reef is no longer a live reef. There's no more beach, which means you walk off the walk path into the water onto rocks before you get to the ocean. Rocks, not sand. Sand is gone. Now, if you go east on Alona Beach, there used to be 200 feet down by the Henin of white sand beach. That's gone. Now there's about 90 feet. And to the west of the Henin, there is 50, 60 feet from the walk path. No longer are souvenirs or foods or tables and chairs allowed on the ocean side of the walk path. So that is the biggest tourist attraction in Bohol besides the Chocolate Hills. And to be honest with you, I've been an excavation contractor for my entire life. looking at one mountain from another mountain to another mountain, I don't care how many there are. For me, that would be a boring waste of an entire day. Now, there's also the Lubbock River adventure. They call it an adventure. You go to a river, a slow flowing river, and you sit on a barge or a big boat. I don't know what they have now. I know what they had before the Odette. And you have lunch at tourist prices. And that's it. And then you're done out there. Anda, which people, oh, Anda is not what it's cracked up to be. It's just not what it's cracked up to be. First of all, when you get off public transportation on Anda Beach at Anda, okay, you're up 160 feet up higher than the ocean. So you first thing you need to do is you need to understand you have to walk down a path to get to the beach on a very steep incline with no railings, no steps. Just walk down a dirt gravel path. Unless they change that. That in and of itself is going to eliminate anybody that has bad legs, bad ankles, or is really not in good shape. That's forget Anda. And then when you get down to the beach, it's a white sand beach. It's a brown sand beach mostly, but some white sand. Depends on where in Anda you are. The water has from all the affluents from Anda proper. The affluents have, for the most part, any coral life on that once existed in 2014 when I first visited Anda is gone now. I was back there in 2018. It's gone. There's no, there's rocks, huge coral boulders in the water with algae on the rocks, but what was once live coral, that's all gone. See, the Philippines doesn't have a proper septic uh, regulations and rules. And for all the history of the Philippines, the effluents just go into the soil and into the ocean, and that's just not good for the environment. So as far as tourist locations in Bohol, I would not suggest to come to Bohol. I mean, if I was going to spend thousands of dollars on a tourist destination, it would not be Bohol. Um, it would be Palawan first and primary, because from in Palawan you're going to see places that are magnificent. Okay, Scott Del Fuego was in here. Punch that like button, folks. Fazio is broadcasting for you. Thanks, Scott. I don't expect a lot of people to ever see this live stream, but it is my first live stream on my recon the Philippines. And what I'm going to do is if in yeah in okay, honey, in in the in the chat window, I'm taking donations to visit famous places in the Philippines. So the first thing I want you to understand is that we are going to visit these places. Okay, number one. Number two, if I don't receive enough funds to visit the place you want. Now, if you want me and Daisy and to go to these places, I think it's your responsibility to pay us to do that. I think that it's if you want to see something specifically, let's say you want to go someplace where you live and you have to hire a cab or a driver to get where you want in America, or you want to go from, say, New York City and you want to go see the Grand Canyon, you have to pay for that, right? So You might pay $1,000 or $2,000 for a vacation. It's not cheap traveling around the Philippines. So you people that want us to go to a specific location, what you should understand is that involved to go to any location in the Philippines, figure $100 a day, 5,000 pesos a day. So if you have a specific place you want me to go to and you're in the chat, I'll tell you how many days it's going to take to get there and back. Now, once I'm in my first recon the Philippines island of Cebu, if you want me to do the whale sharks, that's possible. But it's an entire day just to get there and back up to Cebu proper. And unless I stay there and it's a hotel. So there are costs incurred in traveling 3 to 4 hours of traveling there from the port of Cebu, and the same 3 or 4 hours back. And there is now a 2,000 peso minimum per person to go on the boat for the whale sharks. So we're looking at 4,000 plus pesos for 2 people on the boat, plus food, plus if it's the wrong time of the day, I'm going to stay there in a hotel. So figure the whale sharks, if you want me to go to see the whale sharks, figure send me 10,000 pesos. That'll cover the trip. And I'll be happy to not only go visit the whale sharks, but if I'm allowed on the boat, I'll drone the whale sharks from above. Not sure, can't find out that information on the website. Haven't called them up. Well, I called them up, but they don't answer the phone, which is typical of in the Philippines. But if there's another location, there's the Church of Simala. It's a beautiful church. That I'm sure I could get the drone up and flying around. The Church of Simala, the Buddhist temple. There's a flower gardens up in north of the Cebu proper. If you want us to go to Boracay, we can go to Boracay. That's going to get a little expensive, so you're going to have to dig deep. Now, I don't care if you give or not, but if you have a specific location, it's your turn to spend Christmas money in the Philippines, baby. We're going either way. At some point, I'm just going to choose the location of my choice, and that'll be where I go. And we are, in fact, going to visit some places and some people in Cebu. I have some friends of mine that I haven't seen in, I don't know how many years. It's too long. The last time we saw each other, we went to Virgin Islands in the Philippines together. And that was fun. So, but even as a tourist destination, Virgin Islands no longer exists. The thing that made Virgin Islands a tourist attraction in Bohol was once you got there were dozens or hundreds of little food stands on a sandbar that was fully exposed at low tide, and at high tide had 2 feet of water over the sandbar. And the food places where you bought foods were on sticks, 3 feet or 4 feet high out of the water. So you actually ate standing up in the water and sat down on chairs that were in the water. That's no longer available. About a month ago, the ordinance to remove all food stands and eateries from Virgin Islands was put in place. Gone. Another really interesting tourist attraction in the Philippines, due to whatever, is gone. So now when you go to Virgin Island, you're just standing on a sandbar, and it's a beautiful sandbar. It's a very nice virgin white sand beach, sandbar. Um, there's a couple of little structures on there. Some people build boats on there, but the beauty of Virgin Island, Balikasag Island tour, was all the little eateries along the shorefront and on the beach. And the eateries have now minimum charges of like $6 for a hamburger patty and a bun. I mean, if you can bring your own food, but I mean, it's it's not like it used to be where there's hundreds of places to buy food. So now food prices have doubled in the last since the lockdown. So there's not a lot of places in Cebu and the Bohol you'd want to see. Yeah, I like that also, Scott. I, I like that. There's no trolls. I don't really care how many people come here. I'm just letting people know what's going on because that's all going to happen in the next few weeks. The reconning the Philippines. I'm going to wait a week or so to get some donations. I'm going to put up the number, honey. Daisy, give me the number for the donations. I'll put it in the chat again, please. 094.
Put in the paper.
Oh yeah.
48
626.
7498. Write it down.
Okay, I'm going to put the donations for the Gcash in the chat 3 times. Okay, and then it's up to you at that point. Otherwise, I'll just pick some random locations and recon the Philippines, just as the channel says. Going to spend some time moving around and about in the Philippines. So, if you had to come to the Philippines, I'll give you some touristy information. If you're a scuba diver, there's nothing except Balikasag Island to see scuba diving. Other than that, there's nothing. Take my word for it. The reef off Alona Beach it's a dead reef. The reef, and there's really nothing that compared to that. There used to be fish, flora and fauna, and live elkhorn coral, live fan corals, live spider corals, spider fish, frogfish galore, which are really hard to spot, but there used to be hundreds of them. Turtles, none of that on Alona Beach. It's all gone. From the suntan lotion that comes off your skin, settles on the bottom, it killed the coral. From the affluents, no restrictions, none, zero. In all of the coastline, east and west of Alona Beach, including Alona Beach, no septic restrictions at all were ever in place until about 2018, and then they weren't enforced because there were so many thousands of units all over the Alona Beach coastline, thousands, that there might be a septic system on a commercial property, but 8 out of 10 of the bungalows on the property didn't have a septic system. They had an underground cesspit, which no one could ever trace. No one ever tried to trace it. The government put regulations in, but nobody followed them. I know for a fact, I lived in some of those dwellings, that there were septic tanks. There were septic tanks that were built for 2 units, and then they were servicing 7 and 8 units, that the overflow just went right back into the soil. So Alona Beach is gone. Balikasag Island is a beautiful place to dive, but that's the only dive that I would say is worthwhile in Bohol. Now, if you want diving, hey, Dennis, Dennis Adam, hey, um, if you want diving, thanks for stopping by, Dennis Adam. Scott, I was remiss. I didn't realize you didn't have a moderator's channel. If you want diving, the best diving, there's no doubt that I've been to almost every dive location in the Philippines. I've been to almost, and there is no doubt that Palawan is the place you want to go diving. If you're a diver, if you want magnificent views beyond, you know, like, you know, like James Bond movie quality type views, Palawan is the only place in the Philippines you're going to get that. You could get some of that in El Nido, except you can't go in the water anywhere near El Nido, which is part of Palawan. Forget El Nido. The Bay of El Nido, and for miles around, is just raw effluents going straight into the ocean. It was, I remember when I did septic tank work, what the smell was. That was the smell that you smell in the Bay of El Nido. Same smell, same bacteria, same effluents. It's a shame that the Philippines doesn't have proper facilities, but they just don't have the infrastructure. It's not, you know, I grew up in New York. Everything was sewers and sewer caps and underground waterways and under the streets and parks of New York City. Some parks, national reserves, have 3 floor, 75-foot uh, facilities, 3 floors, 75 feet high, facilities with tanks and paddle systems and chlorination systems in them. We don't have that here. They just, the raw sewage goes into a trough on the side of the road and it flows downhill. And if you want to see this in real life and you want to send me, say, 10,000 pesos, I will show you rivers of effluents next to the Bureau of Immigration in Cebu City. River, 35 feet wide, not so deep, 1.5 to 2 feet deep. A river of effluents adjacent to the Bureau of Immigration in Cebu, if that building is still the Bureau of Immigration. But in the river of effluents, what you will see are shopping carts, plastic boxes, lids from boxes, baby diapers, tons and tons and tons of plastic bags. And that's just standing on one bridge where you can see it. And it's built up on both sides of the shoreline, 2 and 3 feet thick. There are no regulations in the Philippines about effluents, and there are literally rivers of this stuff coming down from through Cebu, including the overflow from Cebu, but from the mountains behind Cebu City proper, millions of gallons an hour of effluents. And that goes directly into the Bay of Cebu, next to the port of Cebu, near the port of Cebu. And that in turn washes into the ocean. And as far as quality of water is concerned, at different times of the year, the ocean flows differently. You can look up Mactan Island, which has beautiful white sand beach, well, brown sand. There's no more white sand in Cebu proper, brown sand. It had white sand beaches, but the bacteria count off the island of Mactan, if you look it up, you'll see what the bacteria count is. I don't know what it is now, but I remember back in 2014 when I was deciding on a place to live in Cebu, possibility that the bacteria count was on and up and down, up and down, up and down. And I decided that I wanted clean water, which is why I moved to Dolho in Bohol. Water here is clean because of the way the ocean flows. Now, the water has cleaned up quite a bit in Cebu, so it may be different now. But the effluents that run into the Bay of Cebu are great, and that's not gone checked since I've been here. So you need to do some research. They have bacteria counts from the country of the Philippines. They do check on that, maybe daily, maybe monthly, maybe weekly, and it's possible to find that stuff on the internet. I have no idea what they are. So, okay, so let's see. Dennis Adam, thank you for stopping by. Let's see anybody else. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to visit anybody on anybody's suggestion as long as they're willing to pay for it. So in the Gcash account, well, I don't have a PayPal set up on this account, and I don't have 1,000 subscribers, as everybody well knows. But so this is my first live stream from this. If Scott or Dennis or anybody else that may or may not be here has a question, there's just two watching, so that's cool. You can ask me a question, and I will give you the answer if I can. Daisy is Daisy keeps busy all day long. She's keeping busy. Especially she has something on her mind. That's right. It is. It's good. It's good to talk. Even on YouTube, it said you can just hang out and chat. Although I have a video on my screen about how to use the i13 phone. Boy, that phone has a lot of options. God, it has options. It has stuff that's just weird that it has. The amount of options on the iPhone 13 could be in 1,000 possibilities. That it boggles my mind how much technology they put in that phone, and you're not going to use. I don't know. Maybe I will use 2% of it, but I need it for the drone. So, but it has technology like night vision. Okay, it has technology for high definition, high resolution night vision. You have to know how. You have to set all of that stuff first. You might go through 5 windows to set that up for night vision, high definition, low ISO, Me, I'm just going to point that camera at something at night and see what happens, whatever it is. I'm not going to remember to go to all of those places. But facial recognition, that kept me off the phone and locked me out of the phone for 2 days because I did that first. Recommended facial recognition. Okay, let's try that. Then, if you're not directly looking into the phone when you put your password in, it said you put the wrong password in. No, it's the password that I have written down. Do it again, wrong password. Do it again, let's try a different way. Okay? Send a code to my phone, my other phone, which got to go up for sale soon. And I got to get a different phone because I don't need two high end phones. So let's send a password to your phone. Okay, here's the phone number. Use this phone number. You give them the phone number. You agree that that phone number they show you is the phone number you want them to send a password to. We need more information. Do you have an email address? I have an email address. Send you an email address. This is the code. You go back, you take the code from the email, go back onto Recon the Philippines, put the code in, and it says, okay, please give us your password. And you give them the password again. After you give them the password again, this is the wrong password. Try another way. You go back to the email and you get another code. And that goes on 6 hours, Daisy and I, 3 hours each. We tried to get onto the phone. We are sorry. You have made too many attempts. We are going to lock you out of your account for 48 hours. So I spent the next day or so looking up why it wouldn't let me on the phone. Yeah, you could do that also, Scott. What is she cooking for dinner tonight? Daisy, honey, Scott wants to know what you're cooking for dinner tonight. Wait, what is that? The chicken livers? I took those out. Do you want to cook those for dinner? Daisy, come on in here for a minute, please. Yeah. So I took out chicken livers for me. I don't now what if the fish guy comes, we can buy fish and she can have fish. Daisy loves fish. What would you like to have for dinner tonight? What? Come on over here. Say hello. I cannot hear you. What are you gonna have for dinner?
I don't know. Didn't think about it.
You don't know? You're gonna think about it?
I didn't think about it.
Well, you better hurry up. We only have 6 hours, 7 hours, and then we have to have dinner. Huh?
Still morning.
What do you want for dinner tomorrow? If the fish guy comes, you want to get fish?
No more. It's getting late. No.
No fish. Not gonna have fish. I'm having chicken livers. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
I'm gonna take it out.
it's in the top on the top. I'm gonna have chicken livers. Daisy makes a chicken livers with garlic, red onions. We have red onions. Boy, is that good. But you got to chop that stuff up. I like it chopped up into small pieces. I don't like the whole chicken livers. I'm not real crazy about chicken liver. and when they're whole. I don't mind them, but they have to be cooked well. And I prefer to just chop them up with garlic and onions. So I'm having that. If the fish guy comes around, we can get fish. We always have pork. What did we have yesterday? You had eggplant. Yeah, do you still have eggplant?
No more. I ate last night.
Okay. Big decisions. Yeah, big decisions. Whatever it is, I know darn well it's going to be good. Daisy said the other day, she made me laugh. Daisy said the other day, I said, "Are you going to make dinner?" And and she said, "What do you want?" I said, "I don't care." So an hour passed, and I said, "Are you going to make dinner? What do you want?" I said, "It doesn't matter." So she goes, "Maybe you won't like what I cook," and I'm going, "No, no, 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 no. We have been together for years. I always like what you cook. She's a good cook. She can cook fish. She made fish the other night in the frying pan, milk fish. Honey, shut the door. With onions and garlic. Ah, and cabbage. Better than anything you're ever going to buy in a restaurant. And just she's that good of a cook without just a little salt and pepper, nothing else. And she made rice for herself. That's she makes rice. I had one spoonful of rice, but not. But Daisy, the chicken livers, she'll make the chicken livers with the onions and the garlic and a little bit of spice. For me, she cooks everything. For me, it's everything is good to go. We don't eat any. We have never. Do you ever remember ever buying processed food like frozen food?
That's quite a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Tocino, yeah.
What did we buy?
Tocino.
Tostinos? Yeah, Tostinos, whatever they are.
Tocino is like a thin layer of pork that they marinate.
Long time ago, we had some. We don't eat any processed foods. This not that I can't remember. She said yes. We had some processed food years ago. We don't eat processed foods. Daisy will have snack crackers. Couple. She buys a little box of snack. We don't eat processed foods. Mostly fresh pan, what they call bread here. It looks like bread. Sometimes it even smells like bread. It never tastes like bread. They don't have bread in the Philippines, so that's true. But we don't eat we don't eat any frozen meat. We don't. Daisy, she eats sardines in the can. Uh, that's processed, but it just got salt and pepper. No, no preservatives. The salt in the sardines is the preservative, so I could actually eat that. But the tomato sauce has caused Daisy to have an upset stomach. The acetic acid in the tomato sauce, so she's been laying off of that. But she'll mix one can in with a large portion of food and rice and dilute it. It's a good flavor, but you got to be careful what you eat here. There's so many chemicals. In some things, there are 33, 35, 36 different chemicals. She needs more morning. Scott says, well, first of all, Scott says he likes chicken livers and gizzards. Good stuff. I suggest chicken livers with rice and gravy for Daisy. How's that sound, honey? Yeah? What do we have to make gravy with? He suggests we don't have gravy. Suggests chicken livers and gizzards with rice and gravy for Daisy. So she can make you could make the gravy out of the sardines. Yeah, make it like a paste. I don't know. Okay, give him that face that you just gave. Come on over here, give him that face. Come on, give him the face. Hearts. Go. Give him the. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, there's the comment out. Do you know what? Maybe she doesn't know what gravy. Do you know what gravy is? Gravy is that
Yeah, it's like a sperm.
the brown,
Yeah, brown sperm.
brown,
Brown sperm.
brown sperm. I never saw that. Brown what?
Brown sperm.
I don't- Hey, we want to write that down so I don't say it wrong again. Uh, what is the word?
Brown sperm. It's not white sperm. It's like brown sperm.
Here, let's see if we get that written down so I don't get that wrong again. Brown, Brown. The next word,
Sperm.
Sierra.
Yeah, Sierra, Papa, Echo, Romeo, Mama.
That's what she said. The gravy is like a
Brown sperm.
brown sperm. Okay. Have you ever seen brown sperm?
Yeah, the gravy one. That's the gravy. We call it here brown sperm.
Oh, you call in the Philippines.
Me.
You.
Yeah.
Daisy is, no pun intended, dictating words now. Browns,
Yeah.
they call brown gravy brown sperm.
Yeah.
You
Me.
do. You do.
I did that.
Okay. So, so, do you know how to make that?
If you want to to make gravy, right?
Yeah. How would you
You
make?
just thick it, especially the pork. You want the pork,
Ah,
and then the sauce you make thick it out, or you want to add a little bit of flour,
yeah.
then salt and pepper.
Salt, pepper, flour, soy sauce, or oyster sauce.
No, just the sauce of the pork. If there's a sauce,
Ah, pork. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So if you want to make gravy, brown sperm.
brown sperm.
It's pork juice,
Yeah,
a little bit of soy sauce,
if you want to
soy
add,
sauce, flour,
yeah,
salt,
a
and
little
pepper
bit, yeah, a little bit thick
to make it
gravy.
thick. No,
Brown
no,
sperm,
no,
yeah.
no, no, no,
No, no, no.
no, no, no. Okay. Oh, now there you go. That's Daisy's recipe for gravy. You can add that to things I know by Michael Fazio. Now,
Easy me.
Daisy teaches me a lot of stuff about the Philippines.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, for instance,
Only
did
one.
you know about the 3 day degu law? The law in the Philippines about the 3 day vacation mandatory every month? You didn't know about that, right?
Go away.
The 3 day degu law in the Philippines, they're going to pass a law in the Philippines that when and if, of course, the woman could be pregnant, but if a woman has a menstrual cycle, typically there's 3 days in that week that it's almost unbearable to live with them. So they're going to pass an ordinance that suggests, not a law, a suggestion that for those 3 days, you can pick those days out because they're pretty standard. They come every 28 days. That you should get your own separate place to live for those 3 days. And that's the truth. And then your life, bring the computer with you, and your life and mental faculties will just smoothly flow through the 3 day rule. And then after the third day, could go 4 days. I know people that had an apartment. They used to leave for a week. It was the Gula. And it, I learned about it from a fella, well, back when 40 years ago. 40 years ago, I learned about this from a fellow. He had an apartment. And once a month, his wife would say, time to take your gear and go wherever it is that you go. Because she didn't know where he went. And he had an apartment and he would disappear for a week. Mostly he was hanging out with me on the barge or while I was building docks before I bought the barge. Mostly he hung out on my job site, just watched mostly. He didn't work on the job, but he just liked to watch. He'd sit down. And then when I was building decks and docks, a lot of the guys in the neighborhood would come and watch. It would be a place for them to just hang out and watch somebody work like real men. And they liked that. And they all knew that I was, they would actually come on my barge and have conferences. It's, they loved hanging out on the barge when I was putting in pilings and stuff like that. But anyway, that guy, he had an apartment, and for 5 days a month, he left his domicile. His wife would tell him, "Get your stuff and go." And he had a separate apartment, and that's where he went. He slept there. That was 5 days. Here in the Philippines, 3 days could get you over the top. But I sometimes wish I had a separate place to live for 3 days a month. Tocino is bacon in Spanish. Okay. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I don't remember having bacon. I remember buying some pork fat or belly that you could make bacon out of. It was not good when I cooked it. I don't, maybe because I don't use gas, a gas stove. Gas is, for me, a better way to cook because it's hotter and it's instant. I don't really like electric stoves. I have one, but, I'm not going to go set up a tank outside. Anyway, yeah, the 3 day degree ordinance. It's an option to leave your domicile for 3 days, or the woman can leave for 3 days as well. But I would prefer to go. I would be the one to move out. I would be the one to move out because I got to tell you, I am a very easy person to get along with. But when you say, "Would you like coffee?" and somebody's barking back, "I don't want coffee." Okay, babe. No coffee today. I understand. I understand. I am really. All right. So, anybody have anything else they want to add? Casino. Bacon in Spanish. Casino. Casino. I don't know if you're gagging because of the brown sauce, the gravy. So I'm going to put the. We got to get ready to do some stuff. We're going to be really busy, and it is time for me to go to the Bureau of Immigration. By the way, if you guys come back into the country, once your passport is stamped, you have 30 days to go to the Bureau of Immigration and re-register, your visa. You only have 30 days. So I have a few more days. I don't know that I'm going to do that today. I think I am. So that's one thing on my list, but that would have to be done. I still have time to do that today. I'm not real sure. Yeah, barf inducing. Well, that was that's what they call it here in the Philippines. I never heard of that before. I never heard of it. Learn something new every day, yeah? I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm gonna go charge up the batteries in the drone. I got that drone flying thing pretty much down. The flying part, tracking. I haven't set up tracking yet. I'm not interested in tracking an object. That's not. I would be the one to control where it goes. I did have a small problem with the drone the other day. That no injury to the drone or to the area that it was in, but it was confusing. The drone has vertical sensors, vertical. It has front sensors and it has back sensors. And it got into an area where the top sensor sensed a railing, the back sensor sensed a railing post, the bottom sensors sensed the roof, and it would not move. It would not move. It wouldn't. It wouldn't go forward because there was another obstacle forward 7 or 8 feet away. So it was like in a box. It wouldn't go up. It wouldn't go down. It wouldn't go, and it wouldn't go sideways. And I couldn't turn it around. It was confused, and I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to get out of the. I didn't know how to work. I didn't know what to do. It wouldn't go up, but it kept going near the top post. I didn't want the propellers to hit anything, so I just grabbed it from underneath and shut it off. Shutting it off without grabbing it might have fallen off the roof. That wasn't an option either. But now I know. I looked it up. You shut off put it in sport mode. The sensors stop sensing, then it'll go in any direction. So a little hint that I learned last week was if it gets into a box where it won't go up, down, forward, back, or sideways, just shut off, put it into sport mode, and sport mode shuts off the sensors. Then you can go forward or back. I don't know. I thought that was a helpful hint. Pizza. You have not, yeah, you know what, Scott? I'm not going to buy pizza ever again here. I'm never going to buy pizza here again. There are certain things that I'll spend my money on, and there are certain things I won't spend my money on. And at $12 now for a pizza pie, about 9.5 inches in diameter, that I can eat and not remember that I ate it, I'll tell you exactly what the price of a pizza is now here. It's crazy. I'm not asking for donations for pizza because I refuse. I refuse to pay. I refuse to pay the prices they're asking for pizza here in Bohol. Maybe if I was in a different place, I might. But I can't show it to you, but I'm gonna give it to you. The the price of pizza. I think it was $5.25 for a pizza the last time I looked. For a plain antipasta, homemade pasta. Hold on a minute. Giuseppe's Giuseppe's Pizzeria, and Sicilian roast. Okay, I don't see pizza. Let's go back here. Let's click a menu. Not going to give you a price. Huh, that's amazing. Okay, so let's just copy this. And I'll put it in here. Giuseppe's Pizza and Sicilian roast. The whole prices. Okay. I think the prices are out of control for pizza. I think I don't think I'll ever buy pizza from Giuseppe's again, or the other pizzeria that matches Giuseppe's prices, almost peso for peso now, and their pizza's about half the quality of a Giuseppe's pizza. So let's go to Giuseppe's Sicilian roast Panglao pizza, and still no prices. Still no prices. Media, the reviews, May 2022. The pizza was okay. Mediocre cheese, plenty of meat. Had better ones in the Philippines. Service was okay, but not worth the Italian price. It's worth the experience if you really get Italian cuisine. Okay, that's one pizza. They're not giving us prices here. Food value for the money is 4 out of 5 stars. They refuse to show us prices. Oh, I don't know why. Review. Okay, let's go to Giuseppe's online menu. Giuseppe's online menu. All right, here's something. Yeah, I don't think they want you to know the prices, actually. Okay, so we have spaghetti pomodoro. That's 600 pesos. It's 570, which is almost $12 for a plate of spaghetti with tomato sauce and basil agort. Basil is like a peppermint, and Parmesan cheese. $12 for a plate of spaghetti. Pizza. Here we go. Pizza. Here we are. Pizza. The cheapest pizza is $4.70. $4.70. That's $10 plus for tomato, mozzarella, tomatoes and cheese. That's $10. For a marinara, it's $14. For tomato, mozzarella, and assorted seafood, $14. Now, bear in mind, the pizzas are only 10 inches in diameter. Let's say pizza. Who would eat pizza with pineapple on it? I don't know. I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't eat it. If you gave it to me for free, I wouldn't eat it. I tasted it a couple of times. Never gonna change. Anyway, that pizza is $13 for tomato sauce, salami, ham, and pineapple. $13. Pizza with sausage. Oh no. Let's look for one. Garlic, mozzarella, onions, salami. Pepperoni pizza is $13. Now I'm going to tell you something. Now I know that I eat a lot, but $13 for a pizza that I will eat and not remember whether or not I ate the pizza. That's how small it is. It's not a big pizza pie. Now, the point that I'm trying to make here is that for a Filipino, $13, if they could save $1 a day from their salary, it would take them 13 days. I'm going to put the link here. I'm going to put the link for this pizza parlor place right here. Okay. Here's the link for the pizza parlor for Giuseppe's menu. So basically, a pie with anything on it is going to cost $13, and I could eat two of those. So we're talking about $26 for me to go out and have a pizza. That's not reasonable. Now, if a Filipino could save $1 per day from his salary, in 2 weeks of working 7 days a week, he can buy one pizza pie. That's not a realistic price, because if it was 2 weeks' salary of an American, it would be 400. If they saved 1/10 of their salary a day, $20 a day, that would be 13 times 20, be $260 for a pizza pie. That's not reasonable. There's no way you can justify, if I can eat two pizza pies, and I can, there's no way I'm going to justify eating $26 worth of pie. For that, I can buy good pork, lean pork, for 400 pesos. That's $8 a kilo. I could buy 3 kilos of pork for $26, and the vegetables to go along with it. So 3 kilos of pork would last me 2 weeks, and the vegetables would last me 2 weeks. So for one night out, for me to eat pizza, I could buy enough pork and vegetables to feed me for 2 weeks. Why would I go to a pizzeria? And the thing is that the pizzas were 13 inches on the wooden pallet when they came out of the oven. It extended to the edges of a 13-inch paddle. Now, when they put it on the paddle to put it into the oven, it's about 12 and a half inches, and it shrinks down to 10 inches. So you're paying $13 for a 10-inch pie with no soda, no drink, no tip. Figure 75 pesos, $1.50 for a soda, one soda, no refills. $14.50. add 10%, another $1.50, $16 for a pie that I could eat two of. So 16 and 16, it cost me $32 to have dinner in Giuseppe's. I could buy 8 kilos of pork for $32. When you look at it from a logistics point of view, why would anybody spend the equivalent of 4 days' pay to buy one pizza pie? Why, how could a Filipino do that? That would mean they would work for 40 hours all week, and at the end of the week, they'd have enough money to buy lunch, rice, and calendaria food, which is very good, but they'd be able to buy one pizza pie and split it what with who, their wife, and it would be gone in a half an hour. That's not reasonable. The prices are no longer reasonable to live here in the Philippines. People think that's for a foreigner. Okay, me, I'm going to eat two pies. That's $26 without and I drink water, so soda is not an option. But $26 for a piece of pizza, no, that's not reasonable. That's not reasonable. So anyway, those are the prices. So we have to go. Toto e Papino looks good on Facebook, but no prices either. So if we went back, I don't see that. Oh, well, is that a pizza pie? Oh, wait a second. Oh, whoa, whoa. As Jack Thompson would say, back the truck up. Back the truck up. At the bottom of the menu, there's a 10% service charge that will be added to the bill. And I'm going to tell you something. So now let's just say I had two pizza pies with spicy salami, $6.30 each. So that would be 1,260 pesos. So that would be 1,260 pesos. That'd be $26. $26 for the pie, more because the dollar to peso value was way off now. So it'd be $27 for pizza plus 10%, $29. $29 for me to have two 10-inch pizzas at Giuseppe's. $29 for a pizza pie in the Philippines. Again, that brings you to 4 days' wages for a Filipino. I didn't see that 10%. And that's without $29 is without 75 pesos for a glass of soda. One glass of soda, not a bottomless refill, one glass. Heineken's, I think, were $4 for a Heineken. I'm not sure. Let's see. Zuppa de funga, zuppa de clams. I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess that I have seen the inside of Giuseppe's for the last time. That's crazy. So theoretically, I'm going to eat two pies. There's no doubt that I'm going to eat two pies. There's no doubt that I could eat two pies. So two pies is $27 plus 10% is another $3. That's $30 plus a soda, $31, $32. That's not reasonable. It's not even reasonable if you were in America making money. I don't, and I will tell you this, that if the 10%, that was without a tip, $31. If the 10% went to the wait staff, that would be something that would be, eh, but it does not go to the wait staff. It used to be 5% to the wait staff, 5% to the house. Nope, no longer. No longer does any of that 10% surcharge or service fee go to the wait staff. That's separate. That's separate. If you want to give them a tip. So let's say you were up to $30 and you gave them a 20% tip for dinner. That's $36 for pizza for one person. I know I kept adding, but if one pie is $13, and let's just say you only go for one $13 pie, and let's say you wanted a soda, so that's 14.50. 14.50 plus 10% service charge is another $1.50, $16, and then 20% for the waiter or the waitress, 16 $3.20 more. That's $19.20 for one person, one pie. Now, because if you add another pie and another soda, then you have to give 20% of the value of that meal as well. So double $19. So for two people to go out is $38+ for pizza and a soda, one soda each. I don't drink soda, but $38 for pizza? I don't think so. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. I don't care how much money you have. $38 for two people to have pizza is not a reasonable amount of money. It's just not. And the place that is a small amount of competition for Giuseppe's, their pie might be 12% cheaper, but nowhere near the quality of a Giuseppe's pizza. I'm not going to mention the name of it, but the crust is so thin that the sauce bleeds through, and you can sometimes it sticks to the oven, and you get a pie with no bottom on it, or a pie that's wet on the bottom and it sticks to your plate. You can't eat it. You can't pick it up like you can. You can pick up a Giuseppe slice. It has crust thick enough to pick up and fold. You can't do that with the other pie. You got to eat the other pie with a fork and a knife. Yeah. So I stick to cooking. Back to the concept that I stick to cooking homemade meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, when we can, yesterday we ate at a calendaria, which was excellent. Daisy, what was it that we had at the calendaria?
Pork adobo,
Pork adobo,
eggplant adobo,
eggplant adobo,
pancit,
pancit,
soup.
and soup for two people. And it was enough to satisfy an 11 o'clock lunch with no breakfast for two people.
Me rice.
85 pesos, yeah?
Half rice, yeah.
85 pesos. That's $1.70.
And half rice.
What happened?
Half a cup of rice, 5 pesos.
And half a cup of rice was 5 pesos. That's all included, 85, yeah?
Yeah.
So it cost us $1.70 for two people to eat, which is, you know, 85 cents each. 85 cents to have enough food at a calendaria, a Philippine calendaria, or $36 at Giuseppe's to have a meal. It's up to you. Your choice. I used to really enjoy going to Giuseppe's, but I will never go back. Scott says that's not reasonable. Oh, I love the local Philippines food. I've heard stories about foreigners not wanting to eat off street, what they call street food. I've eaten street food since the day I got here. I don't make videos about it. We ate in the Calendaria yesterday because I wouldn't put that place in a video. I gotta tell you, it was. If you just looked at it, you say, "I'm not going to eat that. No way you're going to get me to eat that." There's dogs running around, cats running around, but the food was delicious. But I wouldn't. I would never put that place in a video. It's Filipino street food, man. It's what you get. But the food was delicious. But the place, I should make a video of that place because I go near there often. I eat there quite probably 2 or 3 times a year. Uh, the tablecloth was a piece of vinyl that was short from the edge of the table, 7, 8 inches short on my side. Uh, the plastic stools that we sat on were never cleaned since the day they bought them. That's out. That never happened. The the staircase going down into the eating area, if you could call it that, was a stick stuck in the ground, and somebody carved out out of coral what looked to be a step. Or you could walk on the wooden step that I walked on, which I wasn't sure was going to hold my weight, but it did. But if I just if I gave you a high def of the whole process, the foods, where they washed the plates and silverware in 2 buckets. The water was clean. The rinse water was clean, but nobody would eat that. I mean, nobody. I'm not going to eat that. But the food is delicious. So, but you know what? I might have to go back there this week. I have something that I have to do in that general area. I'll do a high def, close up high definition, just for my subscribers on this channel. Well, actually, I'm not doing that. I'm only doing recon videos on this channel. Maybe I'll put it on my Hoodwinked by an Angel channel. That place, it would take a while for you to be in the Philippines to say I'm going to try. But I've eaten in, I don't know, 100 calendarias along the sides of the road, in bus stops, jeepney stations, Cebu, Bacolod, Dumaguete, Palawan. I've never, ever, ever been sick. Never caught any kind of virus. I even drink, uh, they'll have water out of the water bottles. I'm pretty sure it's filtered water, but I'll drink water from there if I have to. I've never gotten sick, ever. Never, ever. Never got a stomach ache. Never had heartburn. It's the same food that they would eat. The one thing that some of them put in is MSG. And I don't like that, and I can taste it, and it makes my ankle swell up. But as far as the food itself is concerned, it's good food. It's not FDA approved. You're never going to get it. You're never going to get a passing grade from food inspectors in America. In any, I don't care what restaurant it is here in the Philippines, they're never going to get an A rating. It's just not going to happen. Doesn't now maybe a McDonald's or a Jollibee's, I'm sure, maybe Burger King, but an A rating from a calendaria or a street food, no, not going to happen. It's going to be always going to be a B, C, or I don't even know what's after that. Yeah, some of the Philippines bloggers has said they will never eat in the calendaria. That's crazy. The food is good. The surroundings not so much, but the food is good. And Scott says Americans are too busy watching football to understand that the great reset is taking place. That's that could be true because could be true. I've been talking about it for 20 years. I've been talking about it on YouTube for 14 years now, 12 years in public, uh, on a public channel, on one of two or three public channels. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It really is happening. Meat went from 185 per kilo for lean pork 3 years ago to it went up to 400, but now it's down to what was the price for pork? 360 or 380? Do you remember?
Huh?
The price of the lean pork, 360 or 380? 380. So it went up from 180,
Oh,
280?
yeah.
Yeah. She's right. 280. That's right. 280. So it went up from 180 to 280. So it went up 100 pesos from 180. So it went up 110%. 110% increase for lean pork. 110% increase for lean pork in 2.5 years. 110% increase. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Peanut butter. Skippy has finally crossed the line. Skippy peanut butter. I am beside myself with anger at Skippy peanut butter. You remember taking a spoonful of Skippy peanut butter out of the peanut butter jar? Do you remember what it was like? You could take that spoon, dip it into the peanut butter jar, close the jar, walk from the kitchen into the living room, and just lap that peanut butter up at your own leisure. You can't do that anymore. No, no, no. You can't do that anymore. The peanut butter was 500 pesos, 12, $10 plus for a big jar. I'll show you. $10. It was 496 pesos. Oh, a year ago when I bought it. The last time I bought it, not this time. And it was peanut butter. It was peanut butter. It was Skippy peanut butter. That ain't Skippy peanut butter anymore. I'll tell you that right now. Watch what happens. It's going to fall off the spoon. There it goes. It fell off the spoon. It's not supposed to do that. It it's not supposed to do that. I'm pushing it onto the spoon. It's stuck to the spoon, and here we go. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Fell off the spoon. So they didn't raise the price from 2 years ago. No.
No.
They didn't raise the price from 2 years ago. They just added more oil or water. And now it falls off the spoon. You have to get to it right away. Or have an unmanly size amount of peanut butter on the spoon. That's not fair. I bought peanut butter. I didn't buy oil. I didn't buy water. I bought peanut butter. Raise the price and give me peanut butter, not oil. Flavor's different. The consistency is different. And you have to stand someplace with your spoon and rotate it if you want it to not fall off the spoon. How is that fair? That's Skippy, an age-old enterprise. Okay, they kept it, but so other people have kept Kellogg's cornflake. Used to be 16 ounces in a box, then it was 15 and a half ounces, then it was 14 ounces, then it was 11 and a half ounces, but the box is the same size. Then the price went up. The price stayed the same from 16, 15, 14, 12, 11 and a half ounces. Why don't they reduce the price, the size of the box, and save 20% and give you, not raise the price? No, the boxes are still the same size, but 20% less in the bag, and you have to pay for the shipping of the box. You have to pay to build the box. You have to pay for the wax paper in the box. You have to pay for the ink for the box. They're just destroying people's purchasing power every day. If it was up to me, this jar here, this jar would have, well, the label on here has been, at least it's reduced, but it would say Skippy peanut butter and the ingredients, period. There'd be no, it would be a white label or a black label that says Skippy peanut butter, and it would save all that ink, number one. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. The prices are, they're off the charts. They're off the charts. They're not reasonable. But to put more water or more oil in peanut butter, it's not fair. It's not American. And yet you have to pay American prices, because that jar was $10 probably in America as well. So that's $10 is a day and a half wages for a Filipino. They can't buy peanut butter either. Or meat. Meat is almost beyond the reach of Filipinos. I went to a party not so long ago. The meat was put on, it disappeared in seconds. The meat was gone off the plate, because no one has meat anymore to buy for their house. They consume the meat and rice and carrots and stuff like that. But normally people had meat. There's no more people, and Filipinos don't buy meat or chicken where I live anymore for their house, because they can't afford it. A rotisserie chicken is 285 pesos, 300 pesos. That's $6.50. That's a day's wages for a Filipino. They make 500 pesos a day, 400 for labor. So they're going to spend a whole day's pay for a rotisserie chicken? No, I don't think so. They're not going to do that. Chicken is 225 for uncooked chicken. That's 225 pesos. That's 4 hours pay for one chicken. They're not going to do that. Sad what they're doing to the economy here. All right, I got to go. I'm at my. You can't separate the oil out of that. The oil's not sitting on the top. They homogenized it in there. All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. God day to everybody from Michael Fazio. And Daisy May in the Philippines. I have 1 hour and 15 minutes to do my next thing. Bye bye. I'm Pink Permy from the Philippines, baby. Thanks for watching. How do I shut this off? It's different than the phone. End the stream. End the stream. I'm being oh, honey, Daisy, Daisy. Wait, I have something I want to show you. I had something made up for my reconning the Philippines. Something special. Daisy, honey, babe. I found it. Okay, I had something special made up. Very special. You guys are going to love this. This is going to be my touring shirt. You know, I have these shirts. Yeah, baby. Look at this. This is my touring shirt. Recon the Philippines, baby. Recon the Philippines. When you see that, you know that Sky King 1 is in recon mode, baby. I think this is so cool. Sky King 1 coming to an island in the Philippines near you for the right price. Baby, I'm being Permy. I think I hear. Let me check. Let me check on this. I think I hear. I hear somebody calling. Oh, it's not who I thought it was. Close enough. We have part of the tour group. Not the. Gotta go. Bye bye for now. I'm being Permy, which means, of course, take care always. Official Sky King shirt. Ah, the insightful Scott Del Fuego. Could be anybody. You don't know. We don't know what that guy looks like. That's the problem. I could walk right past him a dozen times. Never know. Gotta go. I really do have to go. I have 20 minutes to do something. Bye bye for now. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. Maybe I'll beg for viewers. Like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye for now.